Hi, I'm Dr. Tony Nettleman, and this is the Texas RPLS Q&A review, question number 13. The call of the question states, a third-class headright was patented in 1873. Within the patent, a 15-foot stream runs along the northwest corner of a parcel. The stream, under Texas law, is likely navigable based on the small bill, non-navigable based on the definition of navigability, navigable based on the definition of navigability, non-navigable based on the small bill, or none of the above.
Many people tell us that they are going to take the FS or PS exam just to see what it is like. Don't waste hundreds of dollars. Take a practice test. Order a full-length practice exam book and find the same categories, types, and number of questions as the actual exam.
In order to answer this question, you need to know two things. What is the definition of navigability, and what is the small bill? First of all, navigability. There are two types, federal and state definitions. Here, we are in Texas, and the federal government does not own navigable waterways. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip the federal definition, which says that a stream is navigable if it is capable of being used as a highway of commerce in its ordinary and natural condition. And that may be the case, but I lean more toward going to the Texas definition because nothing in this call of the question asks about federal things. And all land law is state law unless specified otherwise. So let's read the Texas definition of a navigable stream. Quote, that all streams of the average width of 30 feet shall be considered navigable within the meaning of this act, so far up as that they retain an average width, and that they shall not be crossed by lines of a survey. Right there, 30 foot, that is the definition of navigability in Texas. Now, why the hell is it 30 feet and not 25 or 50 or 12? I don't know, but that is the law according to the laws of Texas and a case 286 Southwest 466. Look that up. So now let's go back and look at our question. This is a 15-foot stream running through a parcel. 30 foot or greater is navigable, and therefore I am leaning towards non-navigable. But let's go over one more thing, and that's the small bill. The small bill basically says if you were awarded an acreage, 80 acres, and because your survey shows that stream in your property and you would be shorted an acreage, we will give you the stream, no matter whether it's 30 feet or 300 feet wide. But here, the call of the question says nothing about the owner of the property being shorted acreage. Therefore, let's leave the small bill to a different video where we can drive more in depth, and let us just go off of the width of the stream. The law says 30 feet or greater. This is a 15-foot stream, and therefore I am going to call this non-navigable based on the Texas definition of navigability. Let me add one more thing. I have so many young people come up to me and they say, I didn't pass the RPLS exam, but by God, I read cases after cases. I read Stafford and Boyd and all these great Texas cases which my mentor told me to do, and I still did not pass my exam. Why? Let me tell you. Knowing the principles of case law is important. It is critical to passing your exam. But reading case after case is not going to help you. So do not read cases. Read books, which gives you a synopsis of the cases. Go to Brown's, Clark, Evidence Procedure, Ken Gold's Decisions. Read these books and take my course, and you will get all the case law you need, but without having to read every single case. The last thing we do today is choose our answer. And as I've said before, the answer is D, non-navigable, based on the definition of navigability. Stay tuned for a greater discussion of the small bill, but you know the average width has to be 30 feet or greater for it to be navigable. In this case, it was not 30 feet but 15, and therefore the answer is D. Would you like even more? We have created an entirely comprehensive Texas RPLS exam course. It's got slides, videos, practice questions, and handouts. And we go over all the major topics on the RPLS exam, and we give you the information you need to pass on the first try. Included is a full-length 8-hour practice exam, which will get you ready for this exam and get your mind set on game day. Go to nlcprep.com/RPLS for more information.